I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? Did no one notice that? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? They have a lot of those box animations. I wonder if they just changed the... I need to see if that box is a 3D or not. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize such mistakes are possible. You're saying you mistook something for blood. Just in a knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from the victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. You saw you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole crime scene was. Her red muffler? Like a scarf the chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. She can easily hang at a moment's notice, I suppose. Let me guess, if I look at this. Yep. No muffler. Try again. I was always wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? Wait, it's not that you mistook her for black splattered blood. For a bib. Less place for someone like a kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. The short wick burns out the fastest, the scientific fact. Wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax, even a really short wick could burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Alright, let's show her that photograph. Miss Starr. Clearly not suited for Objection! The witness is not suited for detective work. I love that now that he's reformed, it is both Edgeworth and Wright ganging up on her. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations! Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. Was my objection chopped liver? But it was there! A scarf! No, not that, but something red, really! Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. You remember some things accurately, at least. It might just be the moment of truth. All right. Oh, we got the big music. You got the big old music, the allegretto. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. There's a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. This were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. Leopard woman. Alright, let's do this. Let's rip her a new one. Attempting to run behind the Parisian off to her side. I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there, about 6 feet high. It's a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do, then? I quickly caught up her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Quickly. Were you close to the suspects? I just said. I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. I should pass her. See this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. Making about 30 feet from the car, yes. I went over it, of course. A little time to climb over that fence. Couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. That's a good question. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? Remembered exactly I would have told you in the testimony. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word. I'm talking to you, but to someone else. The prosecutor was talking on her phone. She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? The memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. Phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. Use a cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. They're witnessing what they're testifying. Did you please assist the rookie self-defense attorney? Hold on. Why is this updated? Because... this shouldn't be. Yeah, something's off.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Who would have thought you to be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? As with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. Did you witness the crime from this point? I see the problem. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Guy making a phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. There's a fucking wall in the way. You couldn't have seen it. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you would allow me a question. Exactly what lie the witness has told the court? This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is the significance about that fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. But say the witness did actually see Miss Scott using the emergency phone. It would mean that she was in A block. Objection! Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Objection! Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. For our clever words made Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? Run direction, the place here. Take that! Security guard room. Indeed, the security guard room is the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. Witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. She could have seen the crime and the backup petition is here. You said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Why did Miss Starr lie? Doesn't make any sense. She just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells us all. The defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. Objection! I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If witnesses found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. The reason was Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? So witnesses to crime from security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. Difference, but what? What would change? Wouldn't be 30 feet. Objection! One look at the floor plan is quite clear. I mean, it's 30 feet. I don't see how that would change. She saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her for her to reach the scene of the crime. Yeah, there's no fence there. Station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there? The scene of the crime when you arrested Miss Sky. You. You ordered the squid wheels, right? I'm bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. It wasn't the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. Yeah, that's a lot of extra time. Took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. It was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. This spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Sure. Objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta that amount of time if you like it al dente. You got lunchboxes tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Yes, you'd run. You'd run the hell away. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Mr. Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. Why would she do this? We come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and the blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. At least we got rid of her testimony. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? Before I have to take the defense team's leftovers, anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. You have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. In other words, piss off. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? This determination. I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence, and then we'll wrap up when we're done here. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. I should have mentioned these 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. What's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I had 3 boyfriends in forensics. I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is legal evidence, at least for the time being. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. But I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by members of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. The general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Looking pretty sullen. These studies of evidence law, really. Thing. It appears that this evidence testifies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. You can assert the guilty are properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. One, of course, was the victim's. Can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You need to know something about blood tests, rookie? Well, speak up! Well, it comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether murder was committed in cold blood. That's a bad joke. All the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. Their ties are directly to the death of Detective Goodman. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. There's a problem. Contradiction. That gleam in your eye. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Take that!
If you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. You contradicted about the blood on the bottom of the shoe. There's no blood on the floor. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of blood or footprints at the scene of the crime. It only shows part of the floor. So there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and we found nothing of the sort. Well, witness? What? It's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. That's true, there has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think! Not as good at finding contradictions. I see. Now I get it. Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. You were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint of the truth in her testimony. Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief rescue tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator this one, a leopard woman. Wow. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in Lunchbox Factory. The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know what reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Yes, suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. That's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? That's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Mr. Wright, do something. Please. Sister has confessed the crime and she tried to conceal it. Enough! There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Little girl, what did you just say? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing your bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. The lunchbox called evidence. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Okay, hurry up. A photograph? Just in case anyone tried the goal to suggest that the white shoes didn't belong to the victim. Hey, it's purely wet. Immediately after the murder, the scene was washed with water. And I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. What anyway? I'm sorry, Mia. Wet or not, don't be quick to throw in the towel. Fiaz will take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. Mia's always helping us. This is the last piece of evidence. Objection! Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each evidence proper consideration. So, Wright. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. Yeah, there's a problem. That's why we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. To the court, the problem with this photograph. Yeah, what's this?
Take that!
Problem is, this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the cause muffler. Mr. Edgeworth, Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. Left off the pot of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as the pot of the exhaust system, a pipe. A claw sticking out of the car's muffler. So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your own testimony. What? Why do you think this piece of cloth and muffler is great for the case?
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony from the court. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my early testimony. Muffler. Ugh! Yeah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. And the proceedings? Suspend? As of wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the scene inspected at once and bring that cloth to me. We'll wait till we've seen all the evidence for the verdicts. Agreed? I suppose so. But we made it. Alright! We'll adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. And we will continue ourselves next time. Until then, have a good night, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.